What's up, guys? I'm Nate. I'm here with Hawks and big guest on the night, Marcos. You are watching the Off The Fairway show. This is the second episode. We're already 2 episodes in. Crazy. Time flies and you're having fun. Super excited for this podcast. Big highlight is we're having Marcos on. First time, long-time listener, first time on the podcast, which is super cool. We'll start off with a little bit of interview. We'll knock that out real quick. And then we'll hop into our main segments. So Marcos.
Yes.
How long have you been involved with our group? What's that story like?
About I think 2 years. I think I played 1 league night in May, and then played 2 in June, and then after that was basically hooked in.
Yeah.
So about 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I've known Hawks for about the last 9-10 years or so.
That's right.
Board games and the like.
We play X-Wing. We're awesome.
Used to play.
Fair.
Retired now a little bit.
That's right.
Globetrotters.
We're so cool.
Yeah.
Moved on to disc golf.
Yeah.
So typically the progression is X-Wing to disc golf.
Yeah.
Most awesome people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And then, how did you get into disc golf?
This guy right here, as it seems like a lot of people on the podcast had somebody from the league get them in.
That's right.
So gave me a few discs, I think about 10 or 12 or so. I think I only have one. I lost every single other one. And once I got in, then started playing a little bit, got hooked in the league. Took me a little while to get going, and now we're here.
Cool.
Spending way too much time.
Do you still have the orange buzz with an AT sticker on it?
Yes, Nico throws that. Yeah. And the only other one I have is that beat up white wizard. I think I lost everything else.
Oh, that was a hand-me-down for mitts.
Yeah, I got that.
That's like the super light. That was my first putter that I had thrown well.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously it just kept on.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah. It's still doing good. Sitting in a box.
That's right. Hey,
cool.
Someone's gonna use it. Something.
Nice. So it sounded like that buzz was maybe a gift from Hawks?
Yeah, the first 12 discs I got were gifts from him.
Cool. Sweet. Yeah, that's special, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, well, we'll hop into the first event recap.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah, of course, go for it. My bad.
What's your favorite disc?
Like mold or single disc I have?
Fair.
You can ask. We can talk disc questions for an hour, but so.
Let's discuss mold.
Okay.
What's your most valuable disc?
Like reliable?
Most valuable.
Oh, valuable. To me, because I don't believe in money for the value of the disc, right? My most valuable disc to me, that's a good question.
Like you lose it and you are visibly distraught.
The beat up orange Z-Glow Ledgestone Zone from last year. That's bad news if we lose that.
Alright, I'll write that down.
I've been throwing that into the cement and fences on purpose for the last 2 years.
It's now go straight.
Yeah, I mean, it can go like 260s, 270 straight.
That's a good utility disc.
Yeah, but my boy Will gave me another Glow Ledgestone Zone, so I got about 5 or 6 backups now of that. So
okay.
Nice little plug to Will.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Just gotta beat him up a little bit.
But probably, other than that, valuable disc I don't throw is my buddy Bob found an old 12-time Firebird in the woods that he gave to me. It doesn't come out often because it's flesh colored and I can't see it.
Understood.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Last question.
Yeah.
I think you'll have one. Do you have a disc golf pet peeve?
Oh, okay.
Do we have to start now with that?
There you go.
How much time do we have?
We'll stick to one though.
Okay. So try not to embarrass myself. My number one pet peeve, I would say, probably besides like overall slow play, is where the next hole is, let's say, to the right, and your disc lands to the right, but we started on the left, and you leave your bag over there, and then you go and play your disc over to the right, and then you walk all the way back to your bag to the left, and then you walk all the way back to the hole while staring at your disc the whole time. That bothers me.
Or get you going?
Yeah. taking time on the tee, taking time for your shots is okay, but
just not being efficient with your
Yeah.
bag placement. It sounds like.
especially if we're playing like a park course that everybody knows where the next holes are.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say you have a thing about logistics.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was a good transition. Cool.
That is my degree. Yeah.
But we didn't answer favorite mold.
Favorite mold
'Cause
is
it's one or the other.
probably Firebird.
Mm.
Yeah. What did you think it was
The
gonna be?
Wraith.
Oh. Sometimes I can't throw a Wraith as far as I would like to, so I'll probably rely on Firebird. But yeah, Wraith is a close second.
Just checking. Just curious. A lot of people like the Firebird, and I respect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Wraith
I'll
is a
back the
close
Firebird.
second. Yeah.
It does feel a little too original though.
What?
Throwing out the Firebird.
I mean, is The Godfather a bad movie?
I guess that's a good point. Cool.
No. Say no more.
Cool.
All right. So we'll recap. We had a tournament November 4th. We talked about it on the last podcast, but we were talking about it in anticipation of the event.
Yep.
Correct.
Now we're talking about it in retrospect of the event.
Mhm.
Super excited. Hawks and I didn't have the privilege of playing in the event. Marcos over here did.
Yep.
And so, Marcos, if you could, just give us like a general recap. Just like, it can be super broad because we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it. General recap of the event.
I thought the event was great. Weather held out really good. Was probably high 40s for the day. Really nice, not too wet. It was cool also that every division, every one of the lower divisions played a short layout and a long layout. So I think that evened out the field a little bit, had a little more fun and engagement for everybody. And the rounds played very quick, which I like. Everybody wrapped up pretty, and we had an hour, 15-minute lunch, and still wrapped up pretty quick compared to a lot of other tournaments.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I felt we were really blessed with the weather.
Yeah, it was a really nice day. Yeah.
Day.
And I was on a card with the Ace. Shout out Zach Pesta.
Shout out Zach Pasta. We're already doing shout outs. Let's go. Zach Pasta, and then let me pull out my stats. We'll do Ace shout outs right now.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. It was not a made-up hole.
No,
No,
it was not. It was
this was legit.
It was hole 4. He
We
threw
were
a
at Palmer Park.
Palmer Park. Yeah, Palmer Park short layout, hole 4. I think it's like 210 feet.
That's around the big tree.
No, that's 5.
That's fine.
It's the little
The short is a
the
lot more
little
gettable.
guy.
right
the
there.
little guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's, I've never birdied that from the long.
The long's
No,
tough.
it's very
The short
tough.
is very short, very easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of, and he just.
Yeah, he threw I think one of those armadillos or something, and just straight at it. Yeah,
Okay.
it was sweet. But that long is tough. It's a big turnover. It's a bit of an ask for a forehand.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Denny Kopp, Ace hole 12.
Yeah, that was other ace. Yeah, and neither one of them bought into ace pool.
Yeah, so that was super exciting. Guys, they already got enough razzing as it is,
Yeah.
so we won't do too much of that on the podcast. But it was super exciting to see them ace.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of big, lots of noises came
Yeah.
from those aces, which was always good.
Well done.
Um,
Well done.
I have a few stats
Okay.
for the event.
Hit me.
One hole in particular, actually, hole 9. Hole 9 was very similar to the one at Houghton Lake, hole 17. We had the island hole. Everything outside of it was hazard.
So hole 9 is you throw straight onto a 3-foot mound. 3
Yeah.
foot?
And that
It's a
hole is
golf green.
sorry.
It's not a circle.
Yeah, it's like an oblong, but that hole has since changed prior to that tournament because within 2 months before the tournament, a huge branch came down off of that tree. So it opened up a little bit more, and it was cool that the short and the long layout both play that same tee. So adding the island add a little bit of challenge for both
Sure.
layouts.
Sure.
Yeah, go into what it was like stepping, like the difference between how it originally is, and then go into the feeling of stepping up to that tee during tournament time. What was it like?
Definitely more stressful. I started actually on hole 9 for the first round, and threw a couple practice throws. And usually when you play that, especially in the wintertime, you can't feel it from the tee, but there's always a headwind coming off the mound. So I tend to go a little more stable, and you just let go of it early. And I landed OB first throw, or hazard first throw. So that was good.
Brutal.
Nice bogey to start the day.
Hate to see it.
Yeah. And then second round. So made probably about a 42-foot putt from just inside the hazard for a birdie the second time. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a
worked out.
scary one too.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was OB, so I was just happy to be in bounds.
Maybe talk about the basket place.
So it's off to the right.
Yeah, so it's like if you throw straight at it, but the island is way more left. The basket is just near the right side edge, probably about 4 or 5 feet from the OB.
I heard a lot of stories of guys who landed in bounds, but then went for the putt, missed the putt, ended up in the hazard.
That's what I like.
You get a roll away or something.
Yeah.
Then you're putting back. They miss a putt.
I think
round enders.
Yeah, more technical greens, even though you have the open look where it's not a gimmicky block, but it forces you to make a decision. That's a good challenge for the hole and a good green construction.
And the fact that you made your 42-ish.
Yeah, I was right at the far left side.
Going right at it.
Right at it from the mound to the hill. Yeah.
I thought it also encouraged touch on the green too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of a lost art in disc golf right now.
Yeah.
You just kind of blast the chains, where with a little bit of touch, you gotta kind of float it in, and if you miss, you still earn medals.
Who blasts chains?
I don't want to put anyone in blast.
He said we're not gonna razz too much this early. Maybe a little bit later.
I mean, have you guys seen Wade putt?
Stop! You went right for it.
Wade crushes the chains. Oh, those two guys, they blast chains.
Yeah.
That's one.
Cool.
Carry on.
So I got some stats for that hole, which
Yeah.
I think are kind of interesting.
How far is the hole?
I don't have that
I
stat.
think it's like 210.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
short. My guess is 4 beyond bogey. 4 double bogey or above. That's
Okay, I don't have specific stats like that.
Okay.
I have division stats,
Okay.
which I think are just as good.
Like how the hole averaged?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, if you guys were to guess, and just guess, who had the best average?
Percentage-wise in the entire.
Well, hold on. Let me ask that question a little better.
Okay. I was
I
confused.
thought I had a better. Okay, I guess it isn't that. So, other than MA1,
Sure.
we're gonna exclude them. Who had the best average round? So it can be either round. Just throw out a guess.
I'm gonna guess
On
him
that
too.
hole,
On that hole.
if you're asking it that way, I'm gonna say M3 because it would be obvious if you said not M1.
It's gonna be like the old dudes.
I guess I should have asked this better. Not my apologies.
Hey.
It is AM2,
It's good.
but the funny part is AM2 had like the worst round round 1,
Uh-huh.
and had the second best round 2 to AM1, and so they actually shot 3.9 on round 1.
On that hole,
Average 3.9,
Were you AM2 or did you play AM3?
I was M3 prior to that tournament.
and then they shot 2.9. So they shaved the whole stroke.
Wow.
That's huge.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, you missed the island. That's
Yeah.
a severe penalty.
Yeah.
Because even if you miss it early, you're still looking at a 25
It's a tough save, yeah.
uphill and a little bit of error, and you're hazard again. That's bad.
So of all the divisions, they did the worst round 1.
Bunch of noobs.
Yeah, and then also for both rounds, MA50s beat MA1's average,
Of course they did.
which is huge. They were just consistent golfers.
Yeah.
MA1 had 3.3 in the first round, which kind of diminished their average.
Still played over par, yeah.
But I mean, you think about it, the old dudes
Play with touch. On
play
that.
with touch because they.
Can't
like,
throw that far.
Yeah, Tim will tell you, I'm wasted whenever we go to Longs at Palmer, whenever we go to Riverbend. He's like, why? I'll throw, absolutely I'll throw, but I'm not going to reach it. However, you get anything within their range, they're like, yeah, I got you.
Yep.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it was kind of interesting. MJ18s happened to throw down the worst round on the day. Not surprising there. There's overzealous compared to the old dudes. So they got a cool contrast there.
They're like, yo, I'm going to throw really, really far. Watch this.
They shot par round 1
Okay.
and then proceeded to shoot 4.2.
Holy smokes.
So,
Well, but to their credit, I believe there was 2, this was their first tournament kids ever. Like, we were talking to them before we got started, like, hey, their pops are with them, like, hey, what do we do? What's the process? What's the steps? Tell me what needs to be done. Where do I need to go? How do we do this? What do I have to do in terms of etiquette? which is pretty neat.
Nice.
Yep.
So I guarantee you, when you see, like you were talking about, you step up to a hole that's got a bunch of flags on there, and it's just right there.
Yep.
That's easy. It's just right there. You know, good block, and I'm super nervous, and early release.
I felt for one of the kids. He, you could tell this was his first tournament, like you alluded to.
Yeah.
He had his family out there, and it just wasn't happening for him. And so we've all been there.
Nice, bring out that extra pressure.
Especially the first tournament. We all had first tournament jitters.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid, and you got your full family there, it's, compounds. So feel for the kid.
Yeah.
I think at least he had a good time, but hopefully he tries it again. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, so there was actually a certain number of clean rounds.
So no bogeys.
No bogeys. Where would you guys put that number at?
Are we giving a percentage or a first round or a second round?
Total number of clean rounds.
Total number of clean rounds. And they can be both second and first round.
Mind you, we had a full tournament, 72 people.
And half, a third of them played.
We had a decent size of MA1, MA2s.
So 12.
You're saying 12?
That's a good guess. I'm guessing I'm going to guess 10.
10? Mm-hmm. So I was surprised to see this. There were only 4 clean rounds.
We guessed a little high.
4.
I lost. The price is right.
Oh,
I mean, even on the short layout, you play a hole 3 that can get anybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A bogey. And hole 2 is a little squirrely too.
And what's the hole where you gotta throw to the gap?
13.
13, the long par 4.
Yep.
Everyone played longs on that hole on the second round.
The second round, yeah.
And so any AM3 that had a good round, the first round, which, all you need to do is one round.
Yeah, I took a nice double
So
bogey on 13.
I'm surprised there was no AM3s that really pulled together a perfect round.
No, what were you doing?
I was playing bad that day.
Oh.
You came in second, bitch.
Yep. Still
How
played.
big was your field?
How big? I think 16 or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were probably favorited to win it.
That's not true. Come on now.
I thought we.
I think I was rated 880 going into it.
I haven't pulled up the history.
Yeah.
I think it was 887.
I remember looking up in the leaderboard. I thought you, Zach.
Yeah.
Who else from our group were in that division? Was it just you two?
There might have been Rosalino.
Oh, Ross.
Yeah. So I mean, first round, Zach and 2 other guys had a 8 down, and one other guy had a 7 down, and then I was 6 down.
Was one of the guy, the other guy who had 8 down? Is he the guy who eventually won it?
Yeah, Jared.
Because I saw you shot neg 11 for the tournament.
I thought 11 for the tournament.
Which you had to shoot hot the first round because you guys were shooting shorts.
Yep. And then capitalize on that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, going 8 down was the hot round for that division first. And then second round, played longs. And other than Jared, I finished higher than the rest of them on the lead card. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shot 2 down the second round.
Gotcha.
Not very good. But
so,
it worked. It worked.
Jared shot 3 down.
Yep.
Hawks, you want to do divisional shoutouts for winners? Since it looks like you have it pulled up, right?
Of course I do.
Sweet.
All right, top spot for MA1. I've met him before. His name is Ian Kumpela.
He had a great
I
tournament.
think we should touch on the playoff that went down.
So here's the thing. I had to go home.
Did you walk the playoff, Marcos?
I did not, but I heard.
Okay, I heard too.
But pray tell.
I think it was 9 holes.
9 holes.
I think they
playoff.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then went over to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Your boy Ryan Weber and Ian Kumpela went down to the wire.
From what I heard is Ryan Weber was hitting putts.
Yeah.
In clutch moments.
Yeah.
And that kind of kept on pushing the playoff.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is that took obviously 9 holes, 45 minutes to an hour for them to win the playoff.
That's
so
tough.
It's kind of a tough scenario.
Yeah. You don't see that.
You just don't see that very often.
Yep.
But that's always fun for them.
And a couple of those are a tough stretch of holes to keep the playoff going in the middle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another big name in Amateur 1 was Aaron Nitz. We won't talk about his round.
What place did he come in?
He came in 8th place.
8th place.
Out of 7?
Close.
It's alright.
It wasn't his day.
And
He had a good time.
Wasn't his day.
Lots of guys were excited to see Aaron at that tournament.
Yeah.
So.
Old dudes, MA50, respect.
Old dudes were pretty excited. I want to touch. I don't know. It feels like I'm boosting myself up, but they were giving me the props for because typically old dudes get the short end of the stick when it comes to hole placement.
Yep.
So I made sure they were on 17 and 18.
Just because
They're pretty excited about
That's
quick,
good.
easy walk.
it. Quick, easy walk.
Nice.
So Michael Campbell pulled out the W with a 113 on the day.
Nice.
Held off Tobin. I don't know how to say Tobin's last name, but had a 114 on the day. So good on them. And twos, we know a couple guys. They are.
The twins.
Yeah. I don't know how to say the last name.
So I think there was a little bit of drama there.
I think it came down to the end, didn't it?
Christian had a firm lead,
Yeah.
and Nicholas was.
Christian had a 4-stroke lead.
Yeah.
That is substantial after one round.
And his brother wasn't even the next up.
Correct.
Nicholas, who ended up taking it down,
Correct.
right?
Correct. It was a 51 for Matt Redmond, a 52 for Christian, and then a 56 for Nicholas.
Nicholas, I think it was a combination of Christian not producing anything and Nicholas just shooting out of his mind.
Yeah.
I watched them on the green of 18.
Okay. Who?
The
both of
twins.
them, yeah.
Nicholas hit a massive putt for birdie. Christian took a bogey. He missed his putt.
Oh, that hurts.
Missed his putt for par.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And it was towards the end of the round, and you could tell it was like that was the defining
That
moment.
was it. Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I think they ended on hole 2, so that was close to the end of it. Yeah.
they were still, Christian was still fighting in it, but I think that was the tipping point.
Well, hole 1 is hard for anybody to get.
Yeah.
From the longs. So yeah, those two boys pulled off a 106 and a 107. Dylan Diesky played an AM2, part of our group. Good for him.
He was out there.
He was out there having a good time. Amateur 3, Jared Van Zant dominated.
Had a field day.
Yeah.
Just came out shooting.
It was a race for second.
He shot a 101 with Marco, shooting a 104, and your boy Mr. Zach Pesta dropping an ace, shooting a 105.
Sure.
So
And I think Zach needs a little bit extra shout out here. He finally shot over 900 that
900,
tournament.
about time. He shot a 946 and an 890, giving what is it, 920
Yeah.
in between there.
It's one thing to shoot, you know,
Yes.
a round over 900. It's another thing to have an event over 900.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is a very big deal. So good for him. And as we said, Roz played, Derek played, Luke Sold played,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and M3, all those guys representing. Like Luke comes when he can. but-
Luke's honorary.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's right. Honorary. So AM4, Mr. Zach Bird shot a 110, and a Zach Watts shot a 111,
Yeah.
and then your boy Mr. Will shot a 112, missed it by a couple.
He came back on the long layout. He can play the long layout better than a lot of the other AM4s.
Was first round was
Shorts, and then he played long second
Yeah,
round.
he shot an 879 second round.
Yeah.
My boy Big Mike was in that tournament too as well.
So we had Buff Nate, Tim East played. Who else? Your boy Michael Thomas played. Yeah, all those guys are representing.
Mike did good. I think he over exceeded expectations,
Did he?
which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, because he would normally play an 8. I don't know. He'd be playing for.
He did good.
That boy Michael.
He was excited about his round stuff.
Excellent.
That was cool.
Lastly, we got the wee lads, the MJ18s, and Nolan. Wow, shot out of his mind. Shot a 99.
Nolan said that enough is enough. I'm taking this sucker down.
Justin was not, and Justin looks like he did not play his best.
Nope. Justin was just throwing fire and not finishing the holes.
Got it. That's a big deal. Got a putt.
Got a putt.
Pitch and putt, baby.
We also got a shout out post from Nolan after the victory, which is pretty cool on our socials. So,
Oh boy.
love to
Nice.
see it.
Get the youth involved.
Get the youth involved.
That's what you need.
Yeah, it's all about the children.
I am now one of the old guys.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah. I'm glad we established that now.
Just now.
Just right now.
So it was good. We had Nate organized a food truck. Which was
Well-run
good.
event, yeah.
He did most of the legwork, which was awesome. Tim brought a cute little solo stove.
Yep. Had a couple umbrella tents.
Yeah.
We had American House Umbrella Tent.
Had to represent.
And so that was a free advertisement, but we're happy to help.
Nice.
That was for MA50 guys. So.
Yeah, so it was. I thought it was good from our perspective. Sounds like it was a
Great.
good experience for you guys.
Yeah.
Went relatively quick. Obviously, I don't want to call it a hiccup, but because who has a 9-round
Playoff.
extra
Playoff,
innings?
It was managed well to deal with that kind of
Yeah.
anomaly.
It was funny because like I did like my post-tournament, I don't know, speech, thankfulness,
Sure.
saying I did a little recap of the tournament,
Yeah.
like how the winners and whatnot, major mag, and so I congratulated the winners, and then had them do payouts, and then did all the payouts, and then with most of the guys I didn't know, and then all our guys from the playoff came back.
Rolled in.
They rolled in, and then I did a little.
Did the second time,
Did it the second time,
which
which is fun.
it's an anomaly.
It's an anomaly.
You
Made it
have
work.
1 or 2 holes, maybe 3 of extra holes.
Yeah. We did a little throw off. I think throw offs are underrated. I think it's a
Well,
phenomenal
when
Rots.
Yeah.
That's right. He
Ross
rolls
did.
into tournaments and just walks away with cash. He's like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, 'cause-
Rots has that clutch gene.
Oh, boy.
Someone else wanted to, I just not coming to mind. I did it. So if someone didn't hit it,
Yeah, you do it twice.
CTPs.
100%. That's the right. That's absolutely the right way to do it.
So,
Yeah, both the aces don't pay in, like we said.
so
Who does
yeah,
it? Or who doesn't do that?
like you said, the food truck was awesome. I felt like we got. I didn't do
I
that.
don't either.
Good. Food truck was awesome. I felt like the guys really ate it up. We're definitely going to be doing it again. She was a little hesitant about it because and it was a small window, and can't guarantee that the guys will want to buy food.
It looks like tons of people did.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and
she was more than happy.
And the
that we did it.
location down, Palmer Park in Detroit, there's not a ton of options unless you drive a few miles out.
Yeah, nothing that close.
So just right there, decent prices.
Yeah.
It's convenience is
Hot food.
Hot food, yeah.
Hot food.
On a chilly day.
I think a big part was as people were coming off the course, they were smelling it.
Oh yeah,
It was in the air,
I can dig that.
and so yeah, I think that was a big draw. We did a little player pack action, a little goodie bag. I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yep, nice patch and pin.
Yep.
Disc.
Starburst.
Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst.
Don't you dare.
Get your round going.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I thought the event as a whole went really well.
Yep.
Lots of happy people, lots of smiling faces, and so that's kind of the goal. So
Nice.
So what happened in the next tournament then? That's right.
Yeah.
I said it.
are we moving on?
I moved on.
Okay.
Boom.
Cool. Next tournament,
That's good.
we actually just finished up December 2nd,
Yes, a couple days ago.
a couple days ago. The Beast at Spindler Park. We kind of, like last podcast, we alluded to it. We talked about it. We hyped it up. Now we're recapping it like we did the Palmer Open. It was kind of a weird tournament.
Yeah.
We had 18 guys signed up with 2 days left
Yeah.
to register, and then by end of
It filled up.
registration, it had 54. It filled up.
Yep.
So 54 because, for those of you who aren't aware, it
Teams
was
of 3.
a 3-man unsanctioned tournament.
With 9 holes baskets, right?
Correct,
You
and
can't
that's
start
the
on a
nine.
full 18.
Correct, and so we put
Yep.
2 teams on each pin.
Yeah. There was a lot of new things that we tried in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to know what worked and what didn't from a player's perspective.
Okay. You just want to jump into it?
Well,
Should we jump into the
I
island
want-
holes to start, or are we gonna do a recap?
let's do.
I'm curious.
I want you to recap, general recap of the event.
I thought the event was great. I like doubles a little more. Triples seems like it's all gas, no brakes. But the layout did, with a little bit of OB and a couple lengthened holes, it did make that a little more difficult. Had to think a little bit, especially when you got around like the sloped greens and the island holes. So that definitely made it play a little better. the course is basically a par 5 from my house, so that's real easy for me to get there. That's convenient. That's always a positive. And then
that's how we should refer to everything. Like that's just a par 4 down the road.
yeah. And then the team tournament was good. The cards moved pretty quick. It's a little slower off the tee, right? Because you got 6 people throwing.
Yeah.
But once you did that, it moved pretty quick. Little sprinkle of rain, but nothing crazy. And for 24 hours of downpour prior to the event, the course was relatively dry, not swampy like Spindler can be.
Which is wild.
That was wild.
Yeah.
I had my muck boots ready to rock.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was walking around like, I'm not like
Yeah.
squishing.
Even in the back corner where it tends to flood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it was good.
Cool.
And a smaller players pack, nice towel, but for more payouts was cool.
Yeah.
Especially for such a interesting event format.
Yeah, it was a lower entry fee too, so it was only $30.
$30 a person, yeah.
And so I didn't feel comfortable doing the disc with that, and so that took away a lot from the players.
Yeah, and I think that was fine. Everybody could use, especially on a rainy, muddy day, you could use another towel.
Absolutely.
And the carabiner.
And the Caribbean,
Or whatever the grommet they call it.
Yeah. And a little hand warmer.
Yeah.
So
Nice little touch. It did get a little chilly. Did you use your hand warmer?
I did.
It was a little chilly.
yeah, so a few things we tried out, and I thought we had a lot of good feedback on. One was the UDIS tournament feature.
Yep.
Which I thought all together worked well. There was a few hiccups, but all in all, we learned a ton about it, and I feel like everyone was very
Pretty receptive about it.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting my first time using it is that it still is like normal UDisc, where if one person puts in the score, it updates it on the other person's screen. It's not like the PDGA scoring app where you each put in your own. So that was just something to be aware of. But everybody knows how UDisc works, so it's fine.
I think more people are comfortable with UDisc compared to PDGA.
Yeah.
Just because unsanctioned,
Yeah.
played a sanctioned event, so I just use UDisc.
Yep.
And it works the same with the live leaderboards and all that.
That's pretty cool.
We had a few hiccups in the beginning just because I kind of just went off of people's emails and their PDGA number that they plugged in.
Yeah.
And I think next time I'll change a few things, but other than that, I thought it went really well.
Yeah, I think next time, hindsight is always 20/20. From our perspective, we should have created an event the night before.
So people can register.
Well, I'm saying just to test it out
Test
and
run,
work out the bugs and figure out how do I do this, because there were just some that would have made it smooth. I think it went great.
Yeah.
I just thought, why didn't I?
Trial run's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's just
But
we've never used it.
Learn it on the fly.
Absolutely.
I mean, in an alternate format, you get out your bugs and do this, and it's not
That's
a
true.
high pressure
That's
singles
true.
event or anything like that.
That's accurate.
Also, one thing we did, just because of necessity, is UDIS tournament features didn't have teams yet. It's in the beta form right now.
Yeah.
And so I just basically delegated captain for everyone's team, and then just went 2 to a card.
Yep.
Kept on
It
giving.
worked out.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
There's no problem.
Would have loved to have somehow figured out how to put the cool names on there,
Yeah.
like the.
They
What's the
keep on
name?
saying they're going to put it out there, but we'll
In
see.
time.
In time.
This is
Takes time.
us telling you just, hey, we need cool names.
I mean, you just did give them data feedback, so this is a good
Yes, yeah.
bonus, yeah.
We're here for them.
Yep, I might have to plug them in.
That's right. Do you know that 2 of our 3 tournaments have had internationals?
Yep. I mean, it's a
We're an
stone's throw
international.
away.
Oh, hey. Okay.
We're international tour.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just let it be, right?
I got you.
Doesn't matter. That's just next door.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah, we had some Canadians.
Come hanging out.
They didn't win. It's USA, right? So another new thing we tried is a bullseye hole. It's pretty controversial.
Explain.
I've called it a bullseye hole just because I feel like it kind of illustrates it the best.
Okay.
But basically, if you've ever been to Spindler, it has an island hole delegated already. It's outlined in this concrete curb, and
It's a little bit smaller than
The circle
a
one.
full circle.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's probably about 10 steps.
and so
Like
I also changed the tee pads just to
to much disgruntledness.
yeah. Just to make it a little
You
easier.
could call it degruntled.
But I made I did a bullseye. I think most people know what a bullseye is, but I made an inner circle within that circle,
10 feet.
10 feet around the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's basically wherever your disc lands is how many strokes you get.
Yep.
And so
No putting.
no putting, which I felt like made the course flow a little faster in that section.
Yeah, and it's the shortest open hole there, so it's just like a pinpoint placement. Yeah. And if you're within the bullseye, anyway, you make the putt, so it just makes it play like a smaller island per se.
Yeah. The difficult part being the teams who miss the bullseye
and miss the island itself.
Well, I'd say if you miss the bullseye, but you still hit the island, and you score a 3, if this was for real disc golf, I easily drop it in for a 2. But the point is, I don't want to say it sounds harsh, but because I didn't have to play it, but I want to say just be better. But
the point,
it's just a small spot that you have to hit.
In theory, you can think of it like the bigger circle is like a hazard, and the middle circle is like a bullseye. Okay. Because you land in the hazard, you're going to make that 15-footer anyway for par.
That's a good way to look
but you don't get the birdie because you just make the landing zone smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I thought it rewarded the thrower.
Yeah, it did.
And then if you're out of the circle, obviously you take
it's a bogey. It's like playing OB from far. Yeah, a way to just think about it.
Marcos, I just want you to illustrate just a little bit. Okay. What was it like stepping up to those tees?
I did not realize initially that the first tee was farther, and then we had somebody even Bushnell it on our card and said, I don't know, what was it, 220, and still didn't throw the right disc because I was not thinking about it. And a little nervous, and we actually missed it.
Oh, he's got paperwork?
Yeah.
Love it. This guy. Prep.
Yeah, we parred it twice, bogeyed it once, and birdied it once.
Wow, that's a wild card.
Oh, it was not good.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about 3 guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
3 competent
3
guys.
chances. Yeah. Competent.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
Because you play with Sean and you play with Will.
Yeah, it was good to go. I watched the preview. You had asked, both you guys had asked Will, given his rating at the time was 838, how he felt playing in the 880 division. But actually, he played in the 920 division because he played with me. And
but did you guys win?
are we getting ahead?
No,
I was just curious. I don't know if you won.
We'll do. We're doing controversial stuff first.
I didn't know.
I mean, it might be controversial that we won.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. So I mean, we can get into the recap, but yeah.
Will way to carry the squad.
Yeah, it was great.
Will was a monster.
We can get a little more detailed on that.
That's what he does.
So, U-disc, bullseye hole. There's also an island hole on 3
off the
and
hill.
12, which isn't that much of an anomaly.
It was windy.
It was very windy.
It was windy up there, which spinners typically got some 5-6 mile an hour, but this was a little bit more stiffer wind.
It was, and when we played practice rounds, mostly had a tailwind off the hill. Me and Will actually blow through putters, and then we had a headwind day of the event.
Up.
Yeah.
Step up the
So, I had to step it up quite a bit.
How'd you do on that hole?
You don't want to know about that one. We, I'm pretty sure it was 12, right? Yeah, we bogeyed it twice and birdied it twice.
Yeah.
Both birdies were with the most stable Firebird I own.
I was about to say.
And that was actually a stolen CTP for me, second round. I got the CTP on that hole.
How close were you?
Like less than 3 feet. Yeah.
And you paid in?
I did.
So, real quick,
That's pretty sweet.
let's go into shoutouts super quick.
Okay.
Winners. Do you have that pulled up?
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh.
Well, not that up. That way we can.
If you give me
I might be
a
able to get
moment,
this guy.
you got it up.
I mean,
It's on you this one.
yeah.
He can look at it quick because it's on his rounds.
Yeah, I don't.
Leaderboard.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull it up. So all I know, and I don't want to call this while you're pulling it up
I got it.
controversy, but there was, if you understand the beast layout, hole 1 is about 460, 480, but the second shot is very low.
It's
receiving.
about it
Maybe
just
in the
says
500
516.
Yeah.
Okay, 500 range.
Yep.
But the issue is the second throw is there's just low hanging trees, and so you got to throw, you got to pipe something. Same team. They ended up winning the top division.
970 Brian Dagnese's team.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had on 2 separate rounds throw-ins for eagle on the par 4.
From the same guy.
From way too far.
Different guy.
No, same guy.
You said it was the same guy.
It was the same guy.
Same guy. 2 throw-ins from 300-ish.
It's maybe a little. I think a little less.
I watched the second one.
Yeah, it's a low hyzer rip.
It was
skip.
a low hyzer skip.
Yeah, I think both times he was in the same spot.
Yeah, I was walking with them in the second round, and they were talking about the first round, like about the shot and whatnot. They're like, no way you're gonna do that.
Boom.
It was funny because they're like, yeah, you're in the eagle range, 300 feet out. You know, this is a tap in for you. You know, those kind of things. Like, you should have this all day long, and then he does it.
Oh goodness.
And just the disbelief, because I was with Aaron, Ian, and Dylan, who were at the time in the lead.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was their starting hole,
Mm-hmm.
and they got birdie, but they got an eagle, set the tone, and one would say that is all she wrote after that hole.
Yeah.
You probably would have been irritated because he threw it in when he got his disc.
And then ran all the way back.
Had to get the longest
putt and walk back 3 or 4 times. Yeah, exactly. Well, the excitement gets to you if you after like 280 foot skip throwing. Yeah. And then Alex Baker's team got second, finished 3 strokes behind them.
Which I screwed up payouts because of this. For their divisions, I looked at the division, just kind of listing off.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, no way Aaron and them knocked second. But they choked. And I didn't register it. And now it's them before them. And so I got wrecked out. I pivoted quick.
It wasn't a big deal.
No.
But yeah, Nitz and the fellas, they played decent.
They did play well.
But apparently not good enough to hold it. And I think it was the island hole.
Oh yeah, he said they didn't get it.
When you're not getting birdies at that level on that hole,
ones. They got the hard birdies because of Dylan's left hand.
And he throws.
Yeah, on those 2 holes it's been there. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the winner had a neg 14 round.
I think it was 50.
It was a 15. It was a 12. The second round was a 15.
So they had their eagles.
Yep.
I think they had that one eagle, but still, like what?
15 down, yeah, that's great.
They killed it. That's fun golf.
Yep.
That's just fun golf.
That's pretty cool.
They were rolling. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then the blue that less than 880 was won by Ian Larry's team. They finished 1 down.
That division was tight the entire time.
Yep. It looks like the first round everybody was within a couple strokes, and then they were the only group. They finished -3 for the second round.
Good for them.
Yeah, that was cool to see. Their division really wasn't. There wasn't like one that dropped off.
Yep.
Right. Everyone's in the hunt. What happened to you guys?
And then
give yourself a shout out.
wait.
So I'll shout you guys out just so you don't have to get your shout out.
Yeah, no, it's alright. Shout out is actually to Will and Sean, my partners, keeping it going. Had an awesome. We could not put to save our lives.
I thought it was a cool story because you guys were down going into the second round, right?
We were tied. So we ended on hole
5 under?
No, 4 for the first round.
4?
Were you guys down by a couple strokes in that round, second round?
Yeah, so we ended the first round on hole 7, that 430 big left hand one in the back corner of Spindler.
Yes.
And I had a little flick up, and then Sean had a 85-foot throw in for birdie to tie it.
Oh.
Yeah, to tie it for
That
the.
was a big statement.
Yeah, it was huge.
I didn't know. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so we got up right to the big tree.
Who were you, as the kids like to say, who were you versing?
We played with Brendan, Steve, Demick, and Luke. Shout out Luke. Sort of got hurt after the first round.
Yeah. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah, I feel bad. But it was on off the bluff, and he sort of slipped on the tee pad, I think, and that sort of.
The course conditions were
pretty tough.
Especially after the first round. The second round,
everything's chewed up.
Adjust, yeah. And then so we started the second round 4 down, tied, and 2 groups were tied for 3 down. So the division was quite close.
Everyone was in the hunt.
There was a lot lot of people in the hunt.
Yeah. So going into the second round was good. And then we started on hole 7, same hole we just ended on. Par. And then we got to the island hole, and it was just Brendan and Steve against the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And they...
Now tell me, was there a change in like energy on that card with them only having 2?
Yeah, they picked it up.
They picked it up?
Brendan could not miss on the drive.
Brendan's a monster.
Yeah, absolutely lacing drives. And Steve is obviously well-rounded, awesome golfer. So the 2 of them together, they picked it up. I mean, we didn't take anything for granted to start, but we got to the island hole and bogeyed, and they birdied. So lost 2 strokes about 3 holes in, and also lost a stroke to the card behind us. So we were...
Island hole, are you saying bullseye hole?
Sorry, bullseye hole, yes.
You guys all missed?
Yes.
And this was hole 9 was the...
Hole was 9.
Hole 9 was the longer one, right?
The longer one.
And so...
It was just poor throwing.
I was about to say.
They got birdie?
They birdied and we
That's a
bogeyed.
sweet bird.
3 holes in. So we started behind, and then hole 1 right after that, we got a stroke back there. We were off to the right, and I threw a Firebird flick, and we had like a tap in for birdie there. And then on those par 4s out into the field, that's where Will really kept us in it. Me and Sean got a little ambitious, a little wild drives, and I think Will sold that hole both times.
Absolutely.
So
that's what he does.
Yeah,
like,
right
you guys
after,
go wild.
because that's a tough from the long tee on hole 3. That's a tough birdie up the side of the bluff there, and then
let me ask you this: did you have a look for a 3
from short of the path? We did.
I'm saying when you're on the short.
Oh, on the short, yeah, we birdied it once, and then parred at the second time.
It was a very gettable birdie.
Was it a par 4?
Very tough.
It was.
Yeah. Both tee pads.
My bad. I thought there was a par 5.
The par 5 was in the back corner. We got that both times.
I didn't know because I was thinking, had we made that a par 5, because then you're going to potentially incentivize.
The par 5 is almost too easy on that one. I think the par 4 was good on that. Yeah.
Sure. It was a very. You have to have distance off the tee.
Yeah.
On the tee, you really got to push it close to the basket.
And that second shot is tough, even though it might play 300. It's straight uphill, and you can't hit that OB on the front side. It's a good hole.
What I just said probably didn't make sense, but make it up to the tall basket.
Yeah, your first shot, you gotta get some distance.
Yeah, get some distance.
To set you up for the next one.
The actual.
Yeah.
You gotta come within putting distance of that hole.
Yep. And then we played the par 5 in the corner, and we birdied that. And second round. Let's see here.
Now at this point, what was? I mean, you guys are still a couple strokes back.
Couple strokes back, and we were actually in 3rd place. We were a stroke behind.
So were you checking scores?
Yes, very early. After we got that, after we lost those 2 strokes early. Yeah. So we were checking scores, and then it came down to.
Did it feel like the round was long?
First round felt longer to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did feel long.
There's a couple slower groups.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of golf, but like it didn't like physically didn't feel like we were waiting a lot. It just felt like we were playing a lot of golf.
Yeah, a lot of golf and a lot of throws.
Yeah.
You got, I mean, you're throwing basically 50% more throws on every hole than you would on a normal card of 4 people.
You did not get cheated.
Yeah, and I know you definitely played a lot. And then, so yeah, we came down. I think we tied them on the par 4. We got another stroke there around the corner. And then played the big one off the bluff. We both parred that, and so we were tied going into hole 7, which was the extended version.
That's
of
like 380 or something.
We bushnelled it at about 380, and the tee pad was on a slight incline.
That's tough.
So the playground hole had Spindler extended back a little bit.
Okay.
So we're we're tied going into last.
How did that hole feel? It felt long. Did it feel long?
But it felt like you could play it anyway.
Did it feel like it was gettable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So we first time around tried to backhand, hit like an early tree, nothing. So after that.
Did you think about the OB on the right at all when you were throwing?
No.
Because you had 3.
Because we had 3, and also a lot of the time the play is all those trees get up high in the right, so sometimes the plays you bail out early and you sort of hyzer
Just
out
look
early.
at a 70-footer.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean it's a crowded green getting into there. So we tied into the last hole, and I threw a forehand up there. I think probably like 320, 330, and then we were tied.
Did you guys take your drive?
We did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it's a tough backhand hole, and
Were you putting first before that?
no, Sean and Will both putt from about.
I'm saying Steven and Brennan.
No, they were further out.
Okay.
So they
So
were
they
further
put
out. They
first,
both
they
missed.
missed.
They both missed from a while out, and then Sean and Will both missed, and so then I lined up for the last hole and made.
What was going through your brain when you were about to putt it?
To just send it because we were tied and we could play hole one in a playoff, and
Did you believe you could make it in?
yeah, you always gotta believe it.
Okay.
It's all in the head.
I like that.
It's putting. My putting was awful for.
It was
a long
awful
time.
the entire
The
tournament.
whole event. We probably missed.
Except for the longest hole and that hole.
Yeah, I think we probably missed 4 circle 1 putts with the
Oh.
3 of us combined.
Painful.
It was really bad. But we had a 60-foot throw-in uphill. We had a 85-foot throw-in, and then the last putt that I just made for the last one was 57 feet
Oh, snap.
to win by
To
1
win.
and take longest putt on that
I
hole.
would, so my plan for the playoff hole
Yeah.
was we were going to play 9 and 18 on repeat, but it was individual scores. And so it was the combination of your team.
Oh, so whatever you tally up from
Yeah.
the 3. Oh, that would have been squirrely. We would have lost that.
I thought it was better than 5.
Yeah, no, that is fun. Absolutely, yeah. And
I would finish the playoff quick, but it would fun.
yeah. It was definitely good. It was a great team win. All 3 of us contributed.
Good.
On.
I was
across the
really
board.
impressed with how Sean was playing.
Yeah, Sean.
'Cause
When
I
he gets
see
dialed in.
I haven't seen. Has he been practicing playing much?
No, he hasn't been playing much. He's been working a lot.
He looked athletic out there.
Yeah, looking slim. I mean, dude's got an arm. So
He's got two.
yeah. I mean, he can't throw left-handed yet, but no.
You know who can? Michael Thomas.
Yes, he does throw left-handed.
It was most.
He meant right-handed.
I think he's a closeted right-hander. I'm just saying it on the podcast right now.
With the offhand. I mean, if you can't learn a forehand, you might as well. We
I
spent
think
all
he's
our
got it all
time.
wrong. He's not left-handed. He's right-handed.
You think?
I think so.
I'm expecting new things.
I mean, most left-handed people are more ambidextrous than right-handed
I'm just
people.
saying. I was dangerously impressed with what Michael Thomas was doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So sorry.
No, all good. Yeah. So I mean, Sean can drive, can throw, can putt, can do all that. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, it was great. And Will picked up, basically played in a division 70 points higher than his.
Will
Right.
Will is
That's
underrated.
expected. That's expected.
Will, yeah, Will's underrated.
We
I
all-
agree.
We look at Will and say, yeah, I'm right. Why are you 830?
I don't say that.
There's no reason anyone should be 830.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. It's alright. So I mean, we played. Me and Will went out and played doubles on the Beast layout for a practice round and shot 4 down, which is what we shot with the 3 of us.
Okay.
But me and Will were on it that day.
Okay. Putting is a big deal.
Putting is a big deal, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was good. The team really picked it up, and we held in there.
Did
Sean,
it feel like the energy from Steven and Brennan, did it feel like they're kind of like slowing down at all, or no?
yeah. So I noticed it, and I think there's a stretch of holes. Even when they played in the first round, there was a stretch of holes where they just kept parring, and that happened in the second round too. And usually, most tournaments I play, my second round is better than my first round. So we picked it up a bit and gave ourselves a lot more chances. I think we had 6 birdies the second round, and the 1 bogey was the island hole. I mean that bullseye hole. But yeah, no, it was good. We played that back corner, the par 5, and the par 4. We played that really well. Sean had like a 45 or 50-foot putt uphill to get us a birdie one time.
Yeah, that was wrong one. I remember.
Yeah, right where
That was
you-
huge.
Yeah,
That was a huge momentum shift for you
Yeah.
guys, I felt like.
Yep, and then I mean, Sean and Will can drive backhand very consistently. So on some of the holes, I was the one to throw the forehand and try to get us up there.
That's team. That's team.
Yeah, it was team golf.
Team golf.
Awesome.
Sweet.
What were your likes, dislikes of the event? What did you take away from the event?
I mean, it's easy to say not like the bullseye hole because you didn't get to putt to save it. But that's just because I play that course all the time. And for such a different format of an event, I like switching up, break up what you usually would expect. And you got 3 chances, you should make it, even though we didn't. Other than that, the triples is, if you played on, for Spindler, for a park course, it is a tough park course for what it is. But for triples, you just gotta basically send it the whole time. It's not, with doubles, you can get a little more variation in the skill like that. But it made for a fun event. Everybody was pretty relaxed. I think everybody on our card remarked that it was one of the most relaxed rounds they've ever played.
Cool.
Would you come back if we did it again next year?
Absolutely.
Now,
even if it wasn't 20 feet from my house.
You say that doubles and triples. I wonder if triples offered a more, the leaderboard was more tight because of it.
Yeah.
Which made for a more dramatic finish.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And making it more difficult with extra OBs and the longer holes.
Yeah, and honestly,
that's good.
I know that
There's 3 of you.
Because traditionally, when you play doubles, typically you have, if you have one, lesser skilled guy, it can really affect the round.
Yeah.
Triples, you can kind of manage to stay up there.
I was, my thoughts are on that par 4 and par 5 in the back corner. And this is me just because I've played that course so many times. If you put an OB line the base of the hill and made people play it, so you can't just bail out onto the hill and play around, and made people play it through the woods.
Oh, so saying on the hill.
So just at the base of the hill
all OB.
and put an OB there.
What we'll have to do is we'll have to listen to this podcast come next year before the tournament.
Yeah.
And this will remind us.
It's locked in, baby.
Oh, is it locked in? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I play there every other day, so it's definitely in my head there. So yeah, so you would force, so you could still play that first shot, that whatever hyzer straight across, but then your second shot has to be more, because you can just bomb the second shot to get around the corner.
Yeah.
And so I saw people going over the top too.
So maybe we have to throw a Mando in just to protect the.
Absolutely. Put a Mando once you get halfway up the fairway. Put a Mando in, so it just forces you to think about throwing it.
A Mando would be cool.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
I like the halfway down the fairway Mando. So you play your first shot, fine, nothing to worry about. But then when you play the second shot, it keeps it away from the houses. It keeps it away from.
And for the longer throws, they have to think about it a little.
Yeah, and also when you play it near this time of year, they have all those hay bales down for the sled hill. So you did have that wall basically towards the green. So if you did play that OB, you could still send it and have a little bit of cushion on the backside.
Yeah, I thought the hay bales were nice and stack.
Yeah, it was good. It made the, and sometimes where you could land and it would be a little more open, we had to take a different shot because one of ours was blocked for a run up right into the hay bales.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, it was cool.
So cool.
All right.
I thought all in all the tournament went really well. A few things I would change. Hopefully next year we can get the building and maybe make a little lunch out of it with everyone. Because I think that'd be cool to break bread with everyone and whatnot.
Absolutely. Always.
Next time we might have to organize that a little better. But I think now that we have established a tournament, people enjoyed themselves.
People know.
And you filled it up, so yeah, it's easy to put another something together, yeah.
Right at the end, fill it real fast, right at the end.
Yeah. So, cool. Next up, we have something new, exciting going on. We haven't really talked about it much, but it's kind of something that I think we want to dabble in a little bit more and see how it goes.
Well, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it.
So we're gonna give Sanctioned Leagues a go. Max, wait and tell us a little bit about it. It's going.
Excellent. Friends, it's an intermission, but it's a good intermission. Here's why. Firstly, we just finished a rousing round of glow golf. I played terrible. My partner and I, we didn't do very well. Regardless, it was a good time. You should try it. That being said, we're here to talk about the Woods Disc and specifically the Sanctioned League that we're going to start December 16th. Week 1 will take place Palmer Park in Detroit. We're playing the longs. The thought behind that is let's get the longs out of the way when we have decent weather. Mind you, it was mid-40s today. Decent weather for early December in Michigan. So we're going to do the longs later on when there's snow on the ground. It's way colder. We'll do some shorts because, a couple more layers on. You don't have the snap. Anyway, I'm going to break down how this league is going to be run. We got 5 divisions. Amateur 4, Amateur 3, Amateur 2, Amateur 1, MPO. You're going to compete in a sanctioned round starting at 10 a.m. every week starting December 16th. Compete in your division with everybody else that happens to be in your division. The good part is you're going to get a sanctioned round. You get to hang out with your buddies, play with your friends. Doesn't matter if I'm an Amateur 2 playing with Amateur 4 guys. We're all hanging out on the same card, and that's okay. Okay, you show up the day of, preferably half hour, 45 minutes prior, so you get yourself warmed up. We get you registered. We're going to charge $5. Here's the breakdown. PDGA requires $1 from us to allow you to compete in a sanctioned league and therefore receive a sanctioned round. Okay. Then we're going to take $2 and we're going to extend the $2 to the end of the season payout. And the other $2 will come to the club with the Woods Disc for hosting this event. We also have 3 side games. Ace pool, $1. We're going to do a longest putt, $1. We're going to do a closest to pin, $1. And those will be cash payout. Obviously, ace fund. If no aces hit, we will not do a throw off. We will extend it to week 2 and then week 3 and so forth. However, the CTP and the longest putt, those will be paid out to the winners because there will be obvious winners for each of those events. So whomever bought in, that's how big the pool will be each week. At the end of the 9-week season, which will run through into February, we will do payouts. Payouts will in order to be able to receive a payout. That was tough. You have to show up for 5 weeks. Now we're going to take your best 5 weeks. So if you show up for all 9 weeks and you play poorly in a couple weeks, it doesn't matter because the points will be given for your best 5 weeks. What's the point breakdown? Great question. So the points will be based on how many people that you beat in your division on any given sanctioned round. So if 4 of us show up in Amateur 2, week 1, and I happen to win it, I'm going to receive 100 points for beating 100% of the field. Okay? If I get second place, I have then beat, I'll let you guys do the math, 75% of the field. 75 points. But the good part is you don't have to rely on me on doing the math right because I feel like that math is wrong. But if it's correct, awesome. Good part is the system does it for us. And with that being the case, it'll keep track for you so you'll be able to tell how well you're doing. And the good part is you're able to receive a sanctioned round rating, and as an amateur at the end of the season, you can still receive a cash payout because we're going to do cash payouts. The PDGA allows it through, I'm not going to go into all the crazy details, but the PDGA allows us to pay out amateurs in cash for this league event and still receive a sanctioned round without having to lose your amateur status. If you have any questions, post, comment, talk to us. Love to chat with you. Our email is up on the page, and give us a shout. We'll get you connected, get you plugged in. We'll have a good time. Peace.
Talk about Putting League a little bit.
Putting League is happening Friday evenings, and we're going to combine that with board games sometimes. Still working on the we're going to have 2 dates in December, Friday nights. Still working on the win, but it's a time we're going to basically get 200 putts.
Nice.
It's a low competition with everybody else. You see how you do the first couple rounds, and then you compete with the others. And we're not making tons of money, but we pay $3 to the school and $2 to the payouts.
And it's good to get indoor practice.
Yeah, it's 200 putts.
It's good morale
And
boost.
you're hanging out with your people.
Yeah.
You get 200 because we did 5 stations.
Oh,
And
that's why we did. I remember 6 stations.
Correct.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
did 5 stations, and it moves.
Yeah.
It moves. It's enough.
Oh yeah.
So it's enough. So that's also happening. Look in Discord.
Look in Discord. Yeah, if you haven't hopped in Discord, we'll drop the link in the description too for Discord.
You should.
It's kind of where all the cool information's
All
at.
the happenings.
All the happenings.
That's right.
That's where we communicate.
That's right.
So next up, we'll just touch on it a little bit because it is an event that's kind of far out there. We can probably touch on it on the next Off The Fairway
Absolutely.
podcast.
Absolutely.
We have the Provision Financial Open.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
We know a guy from Provision Financial.
Yeah. May 11th is the date. But a lot of details to hash out before that, so we don't want to go too much into detail.
Right.
Follow-up episode.
If you haven't already, I'm gonna plug the Woods Disc Club on Disc Golf Scene. Like it, because that's when you'll get all of the notifications that comes from it.
Yeah.
So
Like
like the
tournaments and
page,
stuff.
tournaments, leagues, all permanent news. I kind of meshed 2 words there, but it's
Permanent. That was
Pretend
good.
it happens.
Yeah.
We're rolling with it.
Yeah, like that, and then follow the Provision Financial Open, the tournament, because you can hit the little follow button.
There will only be 144 slots. I won't tell you where, but
You can look it up. That'll be a
That's a
little
lot of
teaser to go look
slots.
it up.
a lot of spots.
That's good.
It is a lot of spots. We'll have food trucks. It'll be a whole shebang.
Nice.
It's going to be an event that you want to be a
It'll
part
be an event.
I've missed it the last couple of years, so I'm excited.
of. But this time we're moving it
Yeah.
from somewhere. We're moving it. We're going to Stony Creek.
Yeah, we're going to start.
We're going to Stony.
So,
It's more better.
we'll do it. So super excited for that. You don't see a lot of you don't see really any events at Stony with using both courses. You're gonna play both blue and green,
Yeah.
2-rounder. So that'll be a new experience for I think most people.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
So yeah, super excited for that. Did I miss anything? Anything else we need to talk about?
What?
I'm good.
Oh.
Marcos, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, way to go.
We're happy you finally made the appearance.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Subscribe, like I said, hop on Disc Golf Scene. Check out our stuff that we have going on. And yeah, comment down below what you thought of the podcast. Comment if you have any issues with the podcast. And
Is this casual enough? I need to
There you
know.
go.
does it look?
I
Do we
need
look
to know.
casual?
I feel
And-
like it's good.
If you ever bring me back, I'll bring some discs for giveaway trivia.
See,
okay.
we
Well,
want him.
Yeah. Hype up Marcos in the chat.
If-
Tell him we need him back.
If you want disc giveaways,
If
I'll
we
bring
want
some.
giveaways.
This guy, he buys them for like $3.
We might have to
I
do
can't
it.
do it about
We might have to do a disc giveaway segment, just Marcos. So he pops on.
If I come on, then and we're talking about disc, we could do some bag talk, some disc talk.
Oh, in the bag talk.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We might have to do
Guess number one right
Yeah.
here.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Peace.
Thanks.
Peace.